let's read this question. It says, write the ratio in simplest form that compares the number of red paper clips to the number of blue paper clips. So that's an important message. That's an important line in this phrase. Now, let's see. Carmen, how many red paper clips do we have? We have 2 red paper clips. And how many blue paper clips do we have, Rocco? 6. Excellent. I know it's kind of hard to see that red, so I'm going to change it to a darker red. Blue. 6 blue. So, how would we write this? How would we write the ratio? There's 2 ways to write this ratio. I want to see what you guys come up with. So, let's see. Rocco again. 2, 2, 6. So we could write it like that. Is that correct? Yeah. Is that correct? Yes. Why is that correct? Who can tell me why that's correct? Fernando. Exactly. And it's in the order of red to blue. Would 6 to 2 have been correct? No, because that's in the order of blue to red. And it's very specific that we get it in the right order. Now, is this in the most simplified form? No. So how can we do that, Madison? We divide. That's a great idea. Whenever we try to get something in the most simplest form, we want to make it smaller. And the majority of the time when we want to make it smaller, starting out, we're typically going to be using division. Previously, when we wanted to make things smaller, we used addition, subtraction. But we're doing things now with ratios. And so we have to do the even amount to both sides. And that's how we do it with division and multiplication. So what do we divide this by to get it in the most simplest terms? Trey, we divide each side by 2. When we divide 2 by 2, what do we get? Rocco. When we divide 6 by 2, what do we get, Tyson? 3. So our ratio is 1 to 3. There's one more way that we can write this. How else can we write it? Gloria.
Like 1 over 3.
We could write it as 1 over 3. Exactly. So we could write it as 1 over 3. These are the 2 different ways we could write it. Here with the colon or here with the fraction. Let's look at this next one. Several students named their favorite flavor of gum. Write the ratio that compares the number who chose fruit to the number of total students, the total number of students. Okay, let's see that. How many people chose fruit? How many people chose fruit? Nathan?
3.
3 people chose fruit. And what are we comparing it to? What are we comparing that to? Matthew? The total number of students. So are we comparing it to the 9 peppermint? No. Are we comparing it to the 8 cinnamon? No. The 1 spearmint? So then how much are we comparing it to, you guys? How much, Elsie?
18.
Not 18. The total number, Matthew. 21. Exactly. So the fruit total is 3. The total, we add them all together to get 21. So I want you guys to take a second and write that as a ratio. Make sure you're writing this in your warm-up so that you can look back at it. So take a second and write it in your ratio warm-up. So let's see. What ratio did you initially write, Tyson? So you initially wrote 3 out of 21, or 3 to 21. Excellent, right? Are we done? No. So, what do we have to do? What do we have to do, Fernando? We divide them, right? We divide them. So what are we going to divide them by, Romario? What are we going to divide this fraction by to simplify it? By 7? By 3. So we divide each side by 3. What's 3 divided by 3? Fingers up. 1. What's 21 divided by 3? Fingers up. It's a little trickier. Yes, it's 7. So we could get 1 out of 7 or 1 to 7. Let's look at that.
This is a 7. Wow, epic face.
Woo! We were right. So we can see that the ratio is 1 out of 7, 1 to 7, or 1:7. 1 out of every 7 students preferred fruit-flavored gum. Now, we're going to take a moment to actually look at that. Why did we divide by 3? Why did we pick 3, Tyson?
Because 3 is not 21.
3 is one of the factors. But what about the other factors of 21? Why couldn't we divide by those, Rocco?
Because they also weren't factors of 3.
Exactly. They weren't factors of 3. What are the factors of 3, you guys? Who can tell me? Ben. What is the factors of 3, you guys? Who can tell me? Elsie. 1 and 3. What are the factors of 21? Who can tell me? Nathan, give me one pair.
7.
So give me one pair. We have 3 and 7. What's another pair? What's another pair, Hannah? 1 and 21. I know it seems obvious, but we can't forget it. Which is the biggest number they both have in common? What is it, Miles?
3.
3. They both have that 3. So we're going to divide by 3. What if our number was this? 6 to 18. 6 to 18. Let's look at the factors. First, let's look at the factors of 6. What are the factors of 6? Give me one pair, Elsie.
1 and 6.
Easy. 1 and 6. Give me another pair, Romario. 2 and 3. Give me the first pair of factors for 18. I'm almost giving it away, Malia. 1 and 18. Give me the next pair of factors, Tyson. 3. 6 and 3. And give me the last pair. Thank you, guys. Rocco.
9
Yeah.
and 2.
2 and 9. Okay, awesome. Let's look. Hey, they both have 3 in common, so why don't I just choose 3?
Oh, yeah.
Why don't I just choose 3, Hannah?
It's called greatest common factor, so you have to choose the greatest.
Exactly. We call it, what we're looking for is the GCF, which stands for greatest common factor. So, I would just like to point out, too, if we look at the other factors that they both have in common, they have 2 and 3, the other factors. Hey, what's 2 times 3? 6. That's the greatest common factor that they both have in common. That's why we always write out that first one, that 1 to 6 or 1 to 18, because sometimes the greatest common factor is the number itself. Let's look at the next slide. So, Monday's yogurt sales are recorded in the table. So we're going to write the ratio that compares the sale of strawberry yogurt to the total sales. So this should be easy, you guys. How many strawberry yogurts were sold? Everybody should be able to answer this one. How many strawberry yogurts were sold? How many Gore? 8 strawberry. Then let's think of the total. We have 3 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8. Who can do 3 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8? Let's see, Romario. Is it? Yeah. So strawberry yogurt sold was 8. The total sold was 24. Let's divide that. What's the greatest common factor between 8 and 24? Who knows this? Matthew.
3.
3? Can we divide 8 into 3 groups? No, but I know what he's saying, Raphael.
Maybe 4?
4. 4 is a good factor. Let's see if we did 4. What's 8 divided by 4? 2. What's 24 divided by 4?
6.
What's 24 divided by 4? 6. I think that we can go further, you guys. Let's see. What's the greatest common factor, Anita? 8. So, if we did this, we look at the factors again. The factors of 8 are 1 and 8 and 2 and 4. The factors of 24, 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, and 4 and 6. Just as a hint, you guys, notice that our numbers got closer together as we went down. When we get closer together, basically, if you can't get any closer, That's it. You've gotten all the factors. If you can't get any closer, you've gotten all the factors. So let's see. What's the greatest factor they have in common? What's the greatest factor they have in common, Rafi? 8 is our greatest factor that they have in common. So we divide them both by 8. Fingers. 8 divided by 8? 1. 24 divided by 8? 3. Excellent. So, oops, I did that in the wrong section. Yep. So we get 1, 3, or 1 to 3. So, 1 out of every 3 yogurt cups sold were strawberry. Excellent. I want you guys to try this individually. Read the question carefully. Ben asked a great question. He said, does it matter which way you put them? Who knows the answer to that? Tyson? Yes. That's a great answer. Why, Tyson?
Oh, because if you were to put 3 over 1, it's 3. And if you put 1 over 3, it'd be 1/3.
So if you put 3 over 1, it'd be 3. And if you put 1 over 3, it'd be 1/3. But also, because it asks us in specific, if we look back at that problem, is 3 out of every 1 yogurt cup sold strawberry? Does that even make sense?
No.
3 out of every 1 yogurt cup? No, we can't do that. So I want you guys to try this problem. So, a pet store sold the animals listed in the table in 1 week. We're going to call this an animal shelter.
Okay.
We're going to say it's an animal, because that's just sad otherwise.
So you want to say it's a term?
We're going to say, so an animal shelter adopted out the animals listed in the table in 1 week. Write the ratio of cats to pets sold that week. Cats to pets. How many cats were sold that week? Mia? 8 cats. How many pets were sold that week? Roman?
That's 32.
Perfect. 32. I'm done, right? No. So, what do I have to do? What do I have to do, Matthew? Simplify. So, we need to simplify. Let's think about that. What can we simplify both of them by? Yes, Emerson. 8. We can simplify them both by 8. What's 8 divided by 8 fingers? If you guys didn't get that, that would be sad. What's 32 divided by 8 fingers?
6.
What are we seeing fingers? It's not 2. It is 4. So our fraction is 1/4. So it says, explain its meaning. Who can tell me what that fraction means? Who can tell me? Hannah?
It means 1 out of every 4 pets is a cat.
Exactly. 1 out of every 4 cats, or 1 out of every 4 pets adopted was a cat. Great job. I want you guys to open to page 29. Open to page 29. Travis drove 129 miles in 3 hours. He drove at a constant speed. What does constant mean? What does constant mean, Hannah? Not changing. So he didn't go really fast and then really slow and then really fast. It's important that he traveled at a constant speed. How many miles did he drive in 1 hour? How do you think we'd approach this problem? Romario, what's our first step? We're going to simplify. What's our initial ratio? What's our initial ratio? Who can tell me? Madison.
3 to, wait,
Yeah, doesn't matter.
3 to 129.
3 to 129. And we want it to be 1 to something. We want it to be 1 to something. How do we get from 3 to 1 with dividing? How do we get from 3 to 1 with dividing? Anita?
Divided by 3.
Divided by 3. Super easy. So what do we think we're going to do to the other side? What do we think we're going to do to the other side? Again, Anita. Divide it by 3. Exactly. Okay. Who can do that? What's 129 divided by 3? Tyson. 43. Who agrees with him? Thumbs up. Yes, 43. By the way, this is called a unit rate. A unit rate. Why do you guys think it's called a unit rate, Hannah?
Because it is
It's measured in units. That's good. But there's a specific reason why this one is called a unit rate, the 43. Why is it, Rocco?
It's a ratio of a unit.
It's a ratio of a unit. That's another great guess. What do we think? Does anybody else have any ideas? So, when we refer to a unit, how many items are we referring to? How many items are we referring to? Fingers up. When we refer to a unit, how many items? 1. So which one of these is the unit rate? 3 to 129 or 1 to 43? Which do we think? Elsie? 1 to 43. And this x, we have an x there, but it becomes equal to 43. So in this case, x is equal to 43. I want you guys to do the next problem. So, 6 oranges cost $5.34. How much does 1 orange cost? What goes in this section right here? What goes right there, Hannah? $5.34. And our ratio is going to be 534 to how much? 534 to how much, Rocco?
6.
To 6, because that's our 6 oranges. But we want to get down to 1 orange. Which side do I write the 1 on? This side? No, but why not? Why don't I write it on that side? Why don't, Liam? It doesn't matter, but why don't I write the 1 on that side? Why don't I write the 1 on that side, Miles? It doesn't make sense. We have to write similar units on similar sides. So this side is our orange side. So we write our oranges on this side. This side is our money side. So we write our money on that side. Now, once again, how did we get from 6 to 1 with division? How did we get there, Oleg? We divide by what? Andrew, how do we get from 6 to 1 with division? What do we divide 6 by to get to 1? So we divide it by 6. So what do you think I'm going to do to the other side? What do you think I'm going to do to the other side, Romario? Divide by 1? Who agrees with him? Nobody agrees. What am I going to do, Madison?
Divide by 6.
Yes. Notice that these match. Those match. So, what is 534 divided by 6? Elsie.
89.
Who agrees with her? Yes, it's going to be 89. So, is it 89? Is it not? Well, yeah, so it's going to be 89. Is it $89? No, it's 89 cents. Exactly. So 1 orange costs 89 cents. If you wrote 89, do you think you'd be correct? No. So, there's 2 ways to do this problem. We could actually work with the diagram, or we could just divide. Who likes dividing by 13? Who likes dividing by 13? You guys are some of the only ones. I don't. But it's fair. We can. Let's watch them divide by 13. We can do long division. We have $4.55 divided by 13. Do I have to move the decimal at all inside the house? Do I have to move the decimal at all, Romario? Do I have to move it or no? No. What's the rule when dividing with decimals? Madison?
You only have to move the decimal if it's outside the house.
Exactly. We only have to move the decimal if it's outside the house. Only the divisor cannot have a decimal. And we move it the same amount each way. If you really wanted, you could move it, but then we'd have to turn it into 1,300 goes into 455. And that's just not, that's not nice, and I don't like that. So, how many times does 13 go into 4? It doesn't. How many times does 13 go into 45? Fingers up. 3. What's 13 times 3? Who can tell me? What's 13 times 3, Romario? 39. Shh. What's 45 minus 39? What's 45 minus 39? I see our fingers. 6. we bring down our 5. How many times does 13 go into 65? 5 times. And what is that equal to? What is it equal to, Tyson? 65. Awesome, we got our 0. So our answer is 35 cents. If we didn't want to do it that way, we could use our diagram. Let's look at this. How many quarters do we have on our diagram? Look at how many quarters we have. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Woo! 13! That works really well. Hey, how many dimes do we have? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Hey, that works out really nice. So, we have one amount for each. So we could have, that's a horrible circle. I don't like that. Let's pick one where they're nice and close. Here's one. So we have 1 quarter and 1 dime each. How much is a quarter worth? Who can tell me? It's easy, Malia. 25 cents. How much is a dime worth? Who can tell me? Andrew, how much is a dime worth? What? Dime is not worth 5 cents. How much is it worth? Lily, 10 cents. What is 25 cents plus 10 cents, Romario? 35 cents. Hey, look, that's the same answer. Same answer. Woo! I want you guys to go to page 22. I want you guys to go to page 22 and pick 3 of the 4 problems. Pick 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick 3 of them. Pick 3 of 1 through 4.